Hello, this is Ling Chi, brush painting for beginners. And this weekend is going to be, next weekend, it's going to be Mother's Day. We are doing something to honor Mother's Day. And there is quite a story I would like to tell from my personal experience. I grew up in Taiwan. At that time, on Mother's Day, that if your mother, the daughters wear carnation to honor their mother, and if your mother is alive, then you wear pink or red carnations. And then if your mother is no longer with you, then you are white to remember her. And that was the story from my childhood. And then there was another story about carnation, is that when I came to United States and I met my husband, Ning, we got married when we were very young and we were very poor. And then the budget is very limited for our wedding. So when we went to the floral shop, the only thing we could afford was pink carnation. So we decorated our church and the reception area, as well as my bouquet was pink carnation. So for the longest time, I didn't want to have anything to do with carnation because I remember how destitute we were when we first got married. So of course, and my goal was when my daughter got married, that she's not going to use carnation. So that's a little bit story about me personally with carnation. So we're going to do a white carnation as well as a pink carnation to in this episode. So I'm using very simple equipment. I have a flow brush, and that's the whole brush I'm going to use. And then the companion set. And then I do have two white that is in addition, a gouache white, which is transparent, and the bleep white is opaque. These two white are going to use for the white carnation, and then the pink carnation, I'm going to use the gouache white as well as the carmine in the companion set. And then I'll use the green in the companion set to make things simple. So if you have other elaborate color, you're welcome to use it. The base of the how to do the flower is from Ning's 108 Flower Book 1. And that's on page 95. I think there is 3 flowers in his composition. We're going to make it very simple today just to do one. The first one, I'm going to do the pink one on Single Xuan. And the reason I choose Single Xuan is because I have a tendency to paint very dry. So if you have moisture issues, then I would suggest a J-plate double Xuan or any kind of 2-layer Xuan paper. The P paper would work too, but we're going to use Xuan paper for the pink carnation. So I first dip my brush in the DaVinci Gouache White, and then I clean up my tip a little bit. You can see I didn't dunk the whole thing. So that's one of the reasons I can keep it dry. And then I use the carmine in the companion set. So then I'm going to do the base of the flower. So it's like a U cup. So then I'm going to use the same brush with the carmine and kind of clean up a little bit, blend. And then I'm going to do the top layer. I'm happy now. And then to connect the top layer with the bottom layer, and I'm using carmine with a little red and then a little purple to make it darker. Carmine, red, and little purple. So I'm kind of connecting this top layer with my bottom layer. And then rinse my brush a little bit, load more white, and then this, and then I'm adding a couple strokes underneath to make the flower coming together. Pink. So this will kind of finish my flower. So I clean my brush and my loading green. This companion's green sometimes is kind of a little harsh, so I usually mixing with a little bit ochre. And then the base of the holder calyx has a little red to it, so I use carmine. And then still green with ochre. The green. Little leaf here. On this side. And then I have a little leaf on this side. And then I have ochre, green with indigo and with a little black in the palette. And now I have a darker leaf on this side. And then I rinse my brush, make it cleaner, lighter color. So this is a turning lip. So I think that I want to make this a little bit fuller. So I use the gouache white again, and with a little bit carmine and blend. So this is my Carnation for Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. And then next one we're going to do a white Carnation to remember all the mother who is no longer with us. So I will use a shade to accent the white. So the shade I'm using is emerald green in here, with the black in the palette. And then the two white I'm going to use. So I clean my brush completely. I'm going to use the khaki. You can use anything in the color paper, so it will be easier. So I'm load my brush with gouache white, DaVinci, and then a little bit of my shade color. And then I'm going to do the base again. And then the top, I'm going to use gouache white, DaVinci gouache white with bleed proof white. And then I'll use the shade color to connect these. A shade to accent my white. So underneath, wash white, rinse the tip, shade. Okay, so now we're going to do the calyx to hold the whole flower. So I'm doing the green with a little ochre. A little carmine for the base. green with ochre. For the leaves, and then the green with ochre and with a little bit black in the palette, make a darker shade on here. And then rinse it off with the turned leaves. So this is the white carnation, and happy Mother's Day to everyone.